Hi everybody, it's Matt here. It's the farm I work on in southeast Pennsylvania. It is early May 2021. I'm recording this because I want to show folks who are interested just how milk cows interact in a newly planted silvopasture planting. Silvopasture, silvo tree, pasture, grassy area where ruminant animals eat. In a farm setting, as opposed to, in the wild. So there's trees planted here in these tubes. It's black walnut, American persimmon, black locust, honey locust, and hybrid poplar. And the planting is not going to be this dense. These are about maybe 6-7 feet apart, and these rows are spaced about 60 feet apart. These are trees that are not going to cast too much shade, so they'll allow sunlight to reach the pasture floor, and their root systems are, different trees have different rooting systems. Some are more deeper rooted, some have surface roots. I think almost all these species are trees that have deeper roots, so they won't be competing on the surface for moisture. Some of these trees, when they mature, they'll actually help the grass growth in the hotter, sunnier times of the year, like midsummer. But for us to get into how much benefit these trees will provide, both for the animals, for the farm's production, and for ecology in general, that's a really long list and a really long discussion. So that's for another time. But you can look it up because there's lots of info about it, and there's research on it, peer-reviewed research on it. But anyway, I just want to show folks that these cows pretty much leave these alone. We did put this hot wire along, and we have arches where the cattle can walk through, and then you see it goes back down, and we've tied it onto the tree posts with the actual, these are like little black twist ties that are rubber coated, and they'll actually we actually just tie the wires to those. This wire isn't hot right now because I'm working on it, but it's not hard to make it a hot wire, and the reason why we have a hot wire is because we want to try to keep the cows off these. For the most part, they stay off them anyway, but cows like rubbing posts. Another reason why you might want to have trees in your pasture. I mean, rubbing trees can damage them, but if you have enough trees and they're mature enough, I think they're probably going to be okay if you got the right trees. And you can see they do like to rub. They'll rub on each other sometimes, these cows, but they also will rub against stationary objects to scratch their necks and so forth. But occasionally cows will horse around. Female cows will try to like mount each other. It's really funny. It's been happening this morning. That's the kind of thing where they're doing something like that, they could kind of, inadvertently run into something here, and the wire might get a little loose, or, inside these tree tubes, these plastic tree tubes, there's fiberglass posts, and occasionally they'll get snapped off. Occasionally, like if we come and mow in here, someone might, make a mistake and mow something down or run something over. But my main point in making this video is that, it's not incredibly difficult to do this. We have funding that we got I think originally it comes from, some of it comes from the state of Pennsylvania, some of it comes from I think the Chesapeake Bay Foundation, I'm not sure, but we had a consultant help us with this project, so he dealt with a lot of that. But basically it's not costing us much as far as I know. In fact, I think we actually may get a little money in the end from it, but that's not really my business. I just work here. But my point is, this is something that's not hard to do. Granted, these trees, they're bare root trees. They're only, this will be, you know, their first season. We planted them last fall, so most of them are surviving from what I've seen. I've taken a peek into here, and you know, we've had fairly abundant rainfall over the last few months, so I'm thinking these trees are going to do well. Some won't survive, but we don't, like I said, we don't want it this dense anyway of a planting, so we're kind of planning for some mortality. I don't know the percentage mortality that we're planning for, but so it's a good deal. Yeah, there will be some occasional damage to a tree tube, to these tree shelters, and you'll have to go and you know, fiddle with it a little, make sure the wire's up, replace occasional broken posts. But all in all, I don't think it's very high maintenance, but I'm sure there'll be studies out there, and there'll be, you know, other sort of documentation out there of just how much labor and how much money goes into this sort of planting. But you know, I think it's just from being here on this farm the last couple years, and having been involved in the planting and the installation of this silvopasture planting, it's looking good. You know, it's looking like it's looking like something that could catch on, and in a big way, and I hope it does, because it's definitely a win-win-win-win-win. You know what I mean? For everybody, for the environment, for the farming, you know, industry, for the cows, for I mean, some of you who know me know I will go on and on about this sort of thing, so I'm gonna stop there. But I just wanted to show you, you know, show you our silvopasture and how it's coming along, and again reiterate that, like, it's not proving so far to be too much of a hassle. So, and it's beautiful, and you can see down there, you know, those are mature. There's walnut trees down there, those mature trees in the background. That's kind of like a silvopasture that just we had here already, but you know, this one's going to look different because the trees aren't going to be that mature. You know, that's sort of a different situation, but that's still pretty awesome too. I think there's oaks down there, there's black walnut, there's I think there's some tulip poplar, there's some hickories down there, and that's coexisting pretty well in a pasture setting. But I think that gets shadier than this is going to get. So I think grass growth down in that pasture down there, which is kind of a lower pasture, it's kind of near a creek, I think that's going to be a little more, I would guess we'd get a little less grass growth down in there, but I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, trees and pasture can coexist, and there's lots of examples of this. You can use a search engine on the internet to find out information about it. University of Missouri has a lot of info on agroforestry, and silvopasture is just one of the many types of agroforestry, and I'd say it also falls into that category that I keep bringing up these days, agroecology. So anyway, I guess I'll stop there. Just wanted to show you our beautiful silvopasture planting. We actually have There's one across the creek there you can see as well. I think we have 20 acres or so planted into this out of maybe 160 acres of pasture or so on the home farm. Oh look, see that cow's trying to mount. Oh, do it again. Well, anyway, she's trying to mount another female cow. And in fact, I've seen female cows mounting bull cows. So cows are a lot of fun. Anyway, I'll stop there. Everyone have a great day. Thanks for watching.